The Mark Thompson Show.
Let's get right to it. He joins us on Fridays. He's someone who watches music and movies and television, and he comes and goes on a rainbow. The culture blaster is Michael Snyder, everyone.
Yeah.
Hey, huzzah! Huzzah! It is me. I am here. Well, I'm here wherever that is. But guys, this past Tuesday was Mardi Gras in New Orleans, the last blowout of Carnival season. And I love NOLA, and I try being there for the big Carnival celebration whenever I can. It wasn't going to happen this year, but Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday is, of course, followed by Ash Wednesday, which for Catholics is the beginning of the 40-day Lenten period of sacrifice that ends at Easter. And Mark, despite being a godless heathen, I'm actually giving up something dear to me for Lent.
What's that?
Sarcasm. I'm giving up sarcasm.
No way. You can't do it.
I'm done with it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Sorry.
Your presentation. You can't give that up.
No, I can't.
Courtney and I saw a movie, Kim, that Michael had recommended last night.
What was it?
We saw Armageddon. What is it, Michael?
Armageddon Time. That's the title of a song by The Clash, but it actually makes a lot of sense in the context of the movie.
Was it an artsy kind of fartsy movie?
No, it's the work of James Gray, the guy who did The Yards and, The Immigrant. And we reviewed it here on the Mark Thompson Show, Kim. Thanks for listening.
I would say it was interesting. It was provocative. It was good. I liked it. Yeah. So I remembered it got a good review from you. That's why I wanted to jump on.
It was great. I loved it.
It was a message movie. There was a message there at the end. I wanted to try to figure it out. Anyway, I liked it. Yeah.
Well,
I really Triangle of Sadness. What is it called? Is that what it is?
The Triangle of Sadness. We talked about that last week. Armageddon Time is a period piece about growing up in the New York area, Jewish in the late 70s, early 80s. And it's, it's a contrast in some ways to Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans. I think it's a better movie than The Fabelmans, but,
Fabelmans.
Hey, fight me, people. What can I say? Speaking of fighting, I do want to say before we get into the movies, Bay Area rock and roll lifer, singer, guitarist, songwriter, and peace activist Alex Carlin of the theatrical Carlin family, including ACT theater luminaries Joy Carlin, his mom, and Nancy Carlin, his sister,
go ahead. Yeah.
And my buddy Nick. Alex is a world traveler known for bringing the rock and roll gospel to Poland, Russia, and other Eastern European locales after a long run as a member of the legendary raucous new wave band Psychotic Pineapple, as well as a stint with the Rubinoos. And right now, he's back in the Bay Area to front a gig by a gathering of peers tonight, performing as Alex Carlin and the Heavy Friends at Baltic Kiss, which is in Port Point, Richmond. The Friends will include performers from the Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers, some of his buddies from Psychotic Pineapple. John Rubin, lead singer of the Rubinoos, is going to be there. And I just wanted to point out one thing I think that's really cool. Alex was enshrined in the Guinness Book of World Records, having played, this is the truth, the longest concert by a solo artist, 32 hours straight or high, at the pub Bourbon Street in Radomsko, Poland, from June 20th to 21st in 2009. He's also the subject of the documentary Alex in Russia Land, a recent film festival favorite about his escapades.
My lunch that there's alcohol involved.
His escapades playing in the former USSR. That's tonight. Alex Carlin and Heavy Friends, and that's over at Baltic Kiss in Point Richmond. So anyway,
Pineapple is the name of the band.
His original band, Psychotic Pineapple. Yes.
Yeah. They're an East Bay band, weren't they? They came out of the East Bay.
They were indeed Berkeley kids and very talented and peers of the Rubinoos. So anyway, if you're interested in that sort of thing, and how could you not be, check out Alex. Look, it's not a banner.
He's a culture blaster. Michael knows the psychotic pineapple band.
I do like Psychotic Pineapple. That is a great band name.
It's a great band name.
One of my favorite songs of theirs is a song that goes, "I wanna get rid of you."
Wow, that's great.
Anyway, it's not a banner weekend for new movies. Mediocrity is afoot. Still, it's not a total disaster. When I first saw the trailer for the new movie Cocaine Bear, I was like, take my money. And I get into movies for free. It was so jammed with quick-paced, near slapstick violence as the, shall we call the titular bear went on a bonkers rampage for the length of the trailer that I actually laughed out loud. But that was just a couple minutes. The full-length movie comes in at an hour and a half, but it turns out that the manic energy of the trailer is a bit harder to sustain for 90 minutes. So let me make one thing crystal clear. I was entertained by watching Cocaine Bear. By the way, get it? Crystal? Cocaine?
Oh,
it's a half-assed drug joke. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like much of the movie Cocaine Bear. Anyway, that said, there's no denying the fun and laughs as a mama black bear in a wilderness park sticks her nose into brick after brick of high-grade cocaine that had been dumped out of a plane by a drug smuggler. So loaded and loving it, the bear goes on a rampage, attacking any unfortunate humans she runs across in her coked-up ramblings.
Man.
There is a certain thrill to seeing who will become Bear Chow among the various characters in this horror comedy that was, get ready, Mark, based on an actual set of events, albeit fictionalized.
I love it.
Let's say this is a little amped up. Anyway, directed by actress filmmaker Elizabeth Banks of Pitch Perfect and The Hunger Games renown, Cocaine Bear may be about surviving deadly circumstances like The Hunger Games, but it features no a cappella singing by wholesome college kids, although I'd love to see the cast of Pitch Perfect dropped in that forest and running for their lives from that not-so-cute Bearsy-Wearsy.
While they break into song?
It would be great. The actors are good ones who are happily slumming here. They include Kerry Russell from The Americans, Alden Ehrenreich from Solo, the great Margot Martindale, who is ripping it up right now in Your Honor on Paramount Plus and Showtime. Ray Liotta in what might have been his final on-screen performance. Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and others. The bear, whether it's CGI or a practical model, is believable and fearsome, and the action is well directed. If only the script wasn't so humdrum. I mean, the dialogue could have been much funnier. No luck there. Anyone who sees this will just have to be satisfied with the gonzo premise, the unhinged bear on the hunt, and the will they or won't they get eaten tension. Anyway, it's in theaters, but as a Universal film, I expect it'll light up the ratings when it gets to Peacock, NBC Universal streaming service. A little bit of a disappointment, but, as B movies go, I had fun.
Michael, they're not going to kill the bear in this movie, are they?
Mark? No spoilers. I'm so very sorry.
Okay. I'm very concerned about the death of the bear already. All right.
Well,
I'm going to get into the movie just to root for the bear.
Hey, listen, man. Something about
as the kids say.
Something about mortality is definitely in the air this weekend. If Casper had died a middle-aged man, the friendly ghost, he'd be the seemingly friendly title ghost of We Have a Ghost, a new release that opened in select theaters a week ago and is premiering on Netflix today. There are lots of talented folks in the cast. The effects are pretty good, and the story is nice-ish with messages implied and overt about tolerance and doing the right thing, even if the actual movie is a little perfunctory. And considering what's implied by that title, We Have a Ghost, it's kind of unscary. Let's just say, if you're looking for The Haunting of Hill House, search elsewhere on the Netflix menu. We Have a Ghost, written and directed by Christopher Landon, introduces the Presley family. No, not those Presleys. A failure-plagued dad, a conciliatory mom, and two teenage sons, Fulton, with a smirk, swagger, and a snarky streak, and Kevin, who is kind and creatively inclined. They move into a rundown house in a Midwestern town and discover the place is haunted by a ghost who appears to be named Ernest. Younger son Kevin befriends the ghost, whose fashion sense includes a bowling shirt and a comb-over. He's played sympathetically by David Harbour of Stranger Things and Black Widow. In short order, the other family members learn of the ghost, and ultimately, they seem a little matter-of-fact about it, which is a bit of a different spin on hauntings as I recollect them. But the circumstances of the ghost's life and death, they are the heart of a mystery that Kevin and the girl next door try to solve. Meanwhile, it's 2023. Kevin's video of the ghost goes viral thanks to his older brother Fulton, and Dad decides to exploit the online frenzy for profit. There is talent here. Besides Harbour, Anthony Mackie plays Dad. Jahid Diallo Winston is quite appealing as Kevin. Tig Notaro, wonderful comedian, plays a scientist who's an expert on the paranormal and has ties to the CIA. And the omnipresent Jennifer Coolidge is here. Where does she find the time? She plays a television spiritualist, psychic medium type. We Have a Ghost is okay as light family entertainment about the supernatural, but it's no Ghostbusters. In fact, Ernest is the only specter on board here. Maybe Gozer and Zool or even Casper would have spiced things up a little bit. Mark, I'm not going to boo. Anyway.
I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
The conciliatory is definitely a ding word, and perfunctory, I'm told you said. I didn't catch it, but that's a ding word too.
Maybe. Anyway, it's
a more or less good review for We Have a Ghost.
Yeah, it's okay. It's inoffensive. It's diverting. It's family entertainment. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the new movie, 3-Day Millionaire. The title of 3-Day Millionaire, a would-be mix of comedy and heist film, refers to the mad money party attitude embraced by fishermen on their weekend breaks. Trawlermen, if you will, and best buddies Curly and Budgie have docked in their seaside hometown, the UK port of Grimsby, where the fishing industry has long been the area's primary industry. But Mr. Barr, the wealthy man who controls the local fishing industry, is affixing to sell out to developers and close down his entire operation, throwing scores of people out of work. One of Barr's right-hand men convinces Curly, Budgie, and another of their friends to pull off a caper that will enable them to start their own business. Despite a promising beginning, some likable, high-spirited young actors and actresses, and the presence of the reliable, evergreen Irish character actor Colm Meaney, love the guy, playing Mr. Barr. I keep thinking of Bart Simpson for some reason. He's so full of mischief. Anyway, 3-Day Millionaire is pretty weak tea that seems pieced together from other better movies. Although I had high hopes for this, there are tone shifts and fuzzy motivations, and the characters they have this naive approach to the caper just didn't ring true for me. Also, as a comedy in such a picturesque setting, the whole thing seemed a little whimsy challenged. This Millionaire is a well-meaning enterprise, but like Bitcoin, I wouldn't invest too much in it. It's on video on demand and various streaming platforms, Vudu, Amazon Prime, and such.
Wow. Didn't really love 3-Day Millionaire.
Not really, no.
What else do you have for us, Michael Snyder? The culture.
I got a movie I can recommend unequivocally, and that's really great in such a
go ahead. Yes.
mediocre landscape here this weekend. In Return to Seoul, Freddie Benoit, a smart, smug 25-year-old South Korean-born woman who was adopted and raised in France, visits the country of her birth for the first time since she was a small child. While in Seoul, Freddie, who at first is a bit of a Debbie Downer emo girl, She experiences culture clash as a French citizen, but she begins a search for her biological parents, which changes her perspective in a variety of ways. What transpires is definitely no fairy tale reunion. Instead, it's a tough and tender and realistic portrait of someone coming to grips with unfamiliar roots and a sometimes daunting problematic background, and the growing pains that result from the process. Fledgling actress Jimin Park is a genuine revelation as the constantly evolving Freddie, especially as she comes to a greater understanding of Korean life and over time gets with the rhythms of soul. This was written and directed by Davy Chow and percolating with a very cool soundtrack. Return to Seoul is a trip worth taking, and it's in theaters as of last week.
Wow. He likes Return to Seoul, everybody.
I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man.
Yeah. I'm impressed that you found something, and as you say, sort of a weak field to recommend for this weekend. Return to Seoul. So again, Return to Seoul is in theaters.
Yes.
Okay. So to review, Return to Seoul he liked. It sounds like maybe of all the likes along the way, it may be the strongest. 3-day millionaire on demand for video wherever you want to get it. He's meh. Not.
Yeah, I had high hopes, buddy. I had high hopes.
It missed for Michael Snyder. It is a VOD again. We have a Ghost, the David Harbour movie with Tig Notaro and Anthony Mackie and Jennifer Coolidge. He thinks it's diverting, is his word. Michael likes the word diverting, meaning kind of a enjoyable endeavor, but it's not a movie that he recommends with great passion or emotion at all.
Mark, when I use that word, it's damning with faint praise.
And Cocaine Bear, the thin premise where a bear gets into a bunch of cocaine, can't stop getting into the cocaine. There's so much getting into it going on through the entire movie. And the cocaine revs the bear up. The bear's a threat to Ray Liotta. It was his last film. For a B movie, Michael Snyder says yes on this one. Cocaine Bear isn't bad, is what he said.
Yeah, weak script, but anyway. Listen, quick out here.
Yes, sir.
On the streaming TV series front, Hello Tomorrow at Apple TV Plus is very intriguing. It's kind of a retro futurist thing set in an imaginary 50s where actor Billy Crudup's character is selling timeshares on the moon with fellow timeshare salespeople, one of whom was played by Hank Azaria. And it's drawn me in. It's pretty fascinating. And I love the art direction, and I love, the kind of retro future robotics and things that are going on. And the question is, if you have these kind of robots and stuff, is this timeshare on the moon thing legit? What's going on? So I've been drawn in. I've only watched the first couple episodes, and there are more to go. They dropped episode 4 today. So if this sounds intriguing to you, and Apple TV is pretty bold, it did, a variety of things so far that's kind of put it on the map, including Ted Lasso. And, it's actually, I'm caught up in it. We'll see how it goes.
Hello Tomorrow, it's called. Cool. Yeah. I guess that's it. Did you have anything else to mention on the way out? We're a little late.
No, the Dubs are faltering, and I'm excited that the Giants season is going to begin. We'll leave these other sports behind. Bring on baseball.
Yes, you can find him hanging out on Polk Street there at the Royal Ground. And you can also find him knocking around the city as he jams out his column in the Marina Times. You can find him here on Fridays. He comes and goes on a rainbow. Bye, Michael.
Bye, guys.